All right, I'm no expert on classical music, but I do appreciate it, and I have been playing it on guitar a little bit for, decades. So we had a request today for Etude number 7, Opus 60, a study in A minor by Carcassi. This is one I've been working on off and on for years and years, so it's a fun one. I'm going to play you a little bit, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so that's our beginning part. So one thing that happens in here is what's called tremolo picking. That's where they want you to do all 3 different fingers. So we got the A bass, and then we got the 2 second fret of the G string. And we want to go ring finger, middle finger, first finger. So I got my thumb on that bass note. So it takes a lot of practice to get that going. You might just practice that ring, middle, first, ring, middle, first. Just try it on that A note over and again. Then you might try like the A bass note first and then 3 of those. And you'll have to take it real slow at first because that's a tricky thing. But once you do that a bit, you'll be ready for the rest of this. So what's going to happen is we have a moving bass line. So it's going to be open to 3 on the A string and then 3 to 2 on the D string. And each time you have 3 of those 2s on the G string in between. And I like to put the middle finger there because of what's coming next. I can move these bass notes around and stuff. So. Okay, so it's open on the A, 2, 2, 2, and then the C note on the 3rd fret. 2, 2, 2, and then the F note on the D string to the E note. So we got. Okay, then we move into a little bit of a different thing. We have open on the D, then 2 on the G, and 1 on the E string. We're gonna go up and down on that. Dum, dum, ding, dum. Now we're gonna switch to a C bass here. So that's gonna be the C bass on the 5th string, 2nd fret, on the G string, a little E string, and back to that 2nd. Okay, so those were. Now we're going to switch to this B bass, 2nd fret, 5th string, and the 1 here on the G, and 3 on the B. And then we're going to go to an A minor type chord. But all we need is like the 2 and the 1 on the G and B strings. So this new part was. Okay, then we have a new part. It's going to go D string with this 2 here. So we have O2, O2. And then we're going to bring in a 1. So we're just changing the bass note. So it goes open, 1, 2, 3. And then we're back to an A minor shape. 2, 2, 1, 2. And then big open, 2, 1, 2. And then 2, 2, open, 2. And then O1 on the 3rd string, open on the small. Okay, so let's look at all those again. We got. And then we're gonna have this new shape. C bass comes in, B bass, A bass. And then we're gonna keep that middle finger there and start to the D bass note. Go chromatic. Now we're going A minor shape, E bass, and then 2, 2, O 2, and then O 1, O 1. And then we're back to the beginning part. I'm calling the first 2 bars part A. So in your tab, you will see after the 4th bar, there's an A with a box around it. That is to signify the first 2 bars. So those first 2 bars have like a double bar line. So that means that's section A. So section A is going to come in before we hit the 3rd line of 2 bars. So we got part A again. So that much right there is part A. Then we're going to continue on to the third line. It has that chromatic type thing, but it has a different ending. So that's the O2, O2, 1, 2. But now we're going to go to an E major and go big E and then 1, 1, open. And then we're going to finish this part off with A bass, 2, 1, open. Pull off on the 1 open, so it's 4 on the B string, little E open, 5, that ends it. Okay, so 4, 0, 5, and then we do all of that over again. So we're starting at the top. Chromatic, A minor, E bass. Then we go back to part A. First 2 bars. Now we continue on with that third line. Goes to E, and then our ending. Okay, so that was the whole first 3 lines of the tab. We're moving into the new part. This is the part that has a star next to it. So here we have a 1 on the B string. We're going to do a C bass note up here. And we got the triple thing again, the tremolo picking. Then we're going to a 2 on the D string. And then a 2 on the G string. And then open G string. So it ends up being, as far as its bass line, it's going 3, 2, 2, open. So 1 is the note that has the tremolo the whole time there. Okay, now we're going to get into a new thing. Back to that type of picking. Bum, 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 bum. So we got 3, 2, 3, 2. And then we got 2 and a 2 on the second string to the open on the first string. So we got. Now we're going D bass with a 3 and 1 down here. Stay on the D bass with a 1 and 2 down here. So this whole new part sounds like. Okay, now we're on a G. We're gonna go. So we're starting on the G string down there. And then big G bass to G string to the little 3. That's our next set. So we got. Now we're going to go to a 2 down here and go A string to G string to that one. Then we're going to switch to 2 and 1. So that's still 5th string, 3rd, 1st to 3rd. And then here, same thing with a C bass. Now we're dropping down to the D string, 0030, and then 2010, like a C chord. Here's like a C chord, but with the 3 and then open on the G and a little E there. So starting on that star in the tab, we're going to do this new part again. Okay, and now we're going to continue on with the new thing. Okay, so that was 3 on the D string to 2s on the G. And then we're going to go 2 on the D to 2 on the B. And then open on the D to 3 on the B. And then 4 on the D to 1 on the B. So the new part here. Now we're going to go open on the G to opens on the B. And then 3 on the D to 4s on the B. And then 2 on the D to opens on the E. And then 1 on the G to 3s on the B. So this new part, open, 3, 4, 2, open, 1, 3. Then we're going to go 2 on the G to 1s. Then A bass. Then D bass with opens on the B. And 1 on the D, 2s on the G. Okay, so starting from that 3-2 thing, we got 2s, open and 3, 4 and 1, opens, 3 and 4s, 2 and opens, 1 and 3s, 2 and 1s, A bass and 1s, D bass and opens on the B, and then 1 on the D, 2 on the Gs. Okay, now we have what's called part B, what I'm calling part B. We're gonna have an E chord, 2, 1, open, open. We're gonna go. So we pull the 1 to open, and we go 2 more opens. And then same thing on the 4. 4 open and 2 more, and then 7. Okay, so that was. Now we're gonna hit the 5 open, but with the E bass. Okay, so that whole thing there was. And then 1 O pull off to 4 open, 3 open, 1 open, 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 2 open. And then we're gonna repeat that part B again. So on the second page, it says part B right over the new part that's gonna come in after this. That just means do that part B again, because I needed to keep the tab where I could do 2 bars on each line to make it kind of work out. So this new part again, we're gonna do 2 times, part B. Okay, then we're gonna continue. So the first note of this new part, after we repeated part B on page 2, the second bar, this is gonna hold slightly longer. So that's like an 8th note instead of these 16th notes we've been doing. So it's like. So we have a moving bass there. So we have 1, and then we have 3 open on the little one, 2, 1, 2, open, 3, and 2 on the A string. Okay, so once again. And then we're going back to the beginning to part A, those first 2 bars. And then we're resuming on page 2 on the second line. So we have this 5, 3, 1, 3. This is a stretch here. We're gonna do that twice. 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3. And then we're going 2, 0, 2 here, starting with the D string. 2 of those, and then we're doing that 3, 2, 3. Now we're doing a new one. We got 4 on the A string, 2 on the G, and little E. And then we're gonna switch to this one with the D bass. 0, 2, 1, 2, and then we got 2, 2, open 2. Okay, and that was open on the little one. So this new part. Okay, now we got a wacky new part. We got 4 on the D and 4 on the B. We're getting back into our tremolo picking. Then we got 2 on the G with those 4s. Then we got 1 on the g with little open, and then 2 on the D with 3s on the B. So that new part was. And then we have 2 on the G with 1s on the B, 2 on the D with opens on the B. We got 3 and 2 here. And then we're gonna go C bass with 2, 1, 2, like from an A minor chord. Then we're gonna have that chromatic thing again. 0, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, and then E chord, and then the A minor type ending. Okay, then we're gonna go back to the star, and we're gonna repeat everything like we did then. So I'm just gonna play through that. And then we got. So sometimes I'll screw up my picking because I don't do this stuff enough, you know. So, but if you can get that tremolo picking, it's really great, and it can really increase your speed because this thing is played really fast when you get it down. And then we're on that part B that's going to repeat twice. 2 bars. And then we're going to resume with this one. Chromatic, E, ending. All right, Etude number 7, Opus 60 by Carcassi. Thanks for the request. There will be 2 pages of tabs to go along with this. So remember, practice your tremolo picking with this. It takes a while to get it. You also want some nails going on for this classical stuff too. Sometimes on my first finger, I'll get that funk finger from playing electric guitar, and I don't have as loud of a note as I need. So that's another reason I'm not officially a classical guy, because you got to have all that stuff going on. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching Damon Wood Guitar Lessons. Please like and subscribe. Let me know if you have any requests. Talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.